West meets East. Quote, occult powers seem to be a matter of national temperament. Russia tends to produce mages, men or women who impress by their spiritual authority. No other nation has a spiritual equivalent of Tolstoy and Dostoevsky, or even of Rozanov, Merezhovsky, Soloviev, Fedorov, Berdayev, or Shestov. Certainly, no other nation has come near to producing anyone like Madame Blavatsky, Grigory Rasputin, or George Gurdjieff. Each is completely unique. End quote. Colin Wilson, The Occult. The process of synthesis of the occult traditions of East and West is seen in the work of Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, founder of the Theosophical Society and the author of the magnus opus, The Secret Doctrine. Born Helena von Hahn, the daughter of a Russian military family and cousin to the future Russian Prime Minister Count Witte, she is a true emissary of the Eurasian order. Neville Drury says of the Russian occultist, quote, her main contribution to mystical thought was the manner in which she sought to synthesize Eastern and Western philosophy and religion, thereby providing a framework for understanding universal occult teaching. End quote. Madame Blavatsky traveled throughout Asia and Europe, joined Garibaldi's National Revolutionary Militia, fighting in the Battle of Mentana, in which she was severely wounded. In the late 1870s, shortly after the publication of her first book, Isis Unveiled, a compelling indictment of contemporary Western religion as spiritually bankrupt, she moved from the United States to India, where the headquarters of the Theosophical Society remains until this day. In 1891, the future Tsar Nicholas II, in the company of the mystic Eurasian scholar Prince Ukhtomsky, visited the headquarters of the Theosophical Society at Edyar. Prince Ukhtomsky's description of the society is revealing. Quote, at the insistence of H.P. Blavatsky, a Russian lady who knew and had seen much, the idea sprang up the possibility and even the necessity of founding a society of theosophists, of searchers for the truth in the broadest sense of the word, for the purpose of enlisting adepts of all creeds and races, of penetrating deeper into the most secret doctrines of Oriental religions, of drawing Asiatics into true spiritual communion with educated foreigners in the West, of keeping up secret relations with different high priests, ascetics, magicians, and so on. End quote. Madame Blavatsky wanted to unite Central Asia, India, Mongolia, Tibet, and China in order, with the involvement of Russia, to create a grand Eurasian power able to oppose British ambitions. Traveling across India, Blavatsky agitated against British rule and found herself accused by the colonial authorities of being a Russian spy. Prince Ukhtomsky saw support for Eurasia in the readiness of the Indians to group themselves under the banner of the strange northern woman. He believed Madame Blavatsky had been forced to leave India by the suspiciousness of the English. As early as 1887, H.P. Blavatsky had become a topic of debate in mystic Petersburg and received the prestigious support of Ukhtomsky's friend, the mysterious Tibetan doctor Badmaev, soon to become notorious for the favor he received at the Russian imperial courts and his relation with Rasputin. Madame Blavatsky's sister insisted that the Russian Orthodox Metropolitan of Kiev had recognized the young Helena's psychic gift, and admonished her to use her powers with discretion, as he felt sure they were given to her for some higher purpose. Dr. Stephen A. Holler, a scholar of comparative religion and a Gnostic bishop, reminds us that Blavatsky, quote, was a true daughter of Mother Russia. Some feel that her life and character correspond strongly to the archetype of the traditional Russian wandering holy person, known as the starets, literally old one, denoting a wandering, non-clerical ascetic or pilgrim who travels about the countryside, exhorting people concerning spiritual matters, sometimes in a decidedly unorthodox manner. End quote. After H.P. Blavatsky's death in London in 1891, the Theosophical Society came under the firm control of the English occultists Annie Besant and C.W. Leadbeater, a confirmed British imperialist. The Eurasian orientation given to early theosophy by H.P. Blavatsky was compromised by the influence of British Masonry and Leadbeater's esoteric High Anglicanism. In the great struggle of the magicians, the Eurasian impulse found new historical agents in the West. Among them, the celebrated French magus Pappus. Grand Battle of the Magicians. Quote, when the 19th century will have come to an end, one of the brothers of Hermes will come from Asia to unite humanity again. End quote. Nostradamus. Pappus, together with Oswald Wirth and de Guaita, dreamed of uniting occultists everywhere into a revived Rosicrucian brotherhood, an international occult order in which they hoped the Russian Empire would play a leading role as the bridge between East and West. Pappus was the pseudonym of Dr. Gerard Angas, a disciple of Joseph Saint-Yves de la Védre, an initiative of the French Gnostic Church, and often the instigator of many of the occult groups of his time. One of the most famous turn-of-the-century occultists, he was the founder of the Hermetic School in Paris, which attracted many Russian students, and directed the leading French occult review, L'initiation. Pappus was also the head of two secret societies, the Order of the Martinists and the Kabbalistic Order of the Rosy Cross. When the Russian Tsar and Tsarina visited France in 1896, it was Pappus who sent them a greeting on behalf of the French spiritualists, hoping that the Tsar would immortalize his empire by its total union with divine providence. This greeting was reminiscent of the hopes of mystics at the time of Tsar Alexander I's Holy Alliance. Pappus made his first visit to Russia in 1901 and was introduced to the Tsar. He quickly set up a lodge of his Martinist order in St. Petersburg, with the Tsar as the president of the unknown superiors who controlled it. The historian James Webb says Pappus was merely reviving a devotion to a philosophy that had flourished in Russia at the turn of the 18th and 19th centuries before being suppressed. As the foremost student of Saint-Yves de la Védre, Pappus knew of the key role to be played by Russia in unifying Eurasia and her occult destiny as the Empire of the End, the outward manifestation of the enigmatic power of Northern Shambhala. Through Pappus, the imperial family became acquainted with his friend and spiritual mentor, Master Philippe. A sincere Christian mystic, he was given rank and honors by the Russian Tsar and maintained contact with the imperial court until its death in 1905. Pappus returned to St. Petersburg in 1905, where it was rumored he, in the presence of the imperial court, evoked the spirit of the Tsar's father, Alexander III, who offered practical advice on handling a political crisis. Both Master Philippe and Pappus played an important political role at the Russian courts. They not only advised the Tsar on affairs of state, but maintained contact with influential Russian initiates of the Martinist order, among them two of the Tsar's uncles and numerous relatives. The German occultist, Rudolf Steiner, who had his own disciples among the German general staff, followed the mission of the two Frenchmen, disturbed by Pappus's extensive influence in Russia. A strong advocate of the alliance between France and Russia, Pappus warned the Tsar of an international conspiracy aimed at world domination. Quote, he believed that the vast Russian Empire was the only power capable of thwarting the conspiracy of the Shadow Brothers. He also urged the Tsar to prepare for the coming war with Germany, then being engineered by sinister forces in Berlin. According to one account, he promised the imperial family that the Romanov monarchy would be protected as long as he, Pappus, was alive. When the news of his death reached Alexandra in 1916, she sent a note to her husband, at the time commanding the Russian armies at the front in World War I, containing the words, "Pappus is dead. We are doomed." End quote. Pappus promoted his Martinist order as a counter to the Masonic lodges which, he believed, were in the service of British imperialism and the international financial syndicates. From his papers it is known that he furnished documentation to the Russian authorities about Masonic activities in Russia and Europe. Pappus condemned Freemasonry as atheistic in contrast to the esoteric Christianity of the Martinist order. He castigated our epoch of skepticism, adoration of material forms, so vitally in need of a frankly Christian reaction independent of all priesthoods. Shortly after returning from his first visit to Russia in 1901, a series of articles appeared in the French press for which Pappus was largely responsible. They warned of a hidden conspiracy, the existence of which the public was totally unaware, and of the machinations of a sinister financial syndicate trying to disrupt the Franco-Russian alliance. The public is blind to the real forces of history. Quote, it does not see that in all conflicts, whether arising within or between nations, there are at the side of the apparent actors hidden movers who by their self-interested calculations make these conflicts inevitable. Everything which happens in the confused evolution of nations is thus prepared in secret, with the goal of securing the supremacy of a few men, and it is these few men, sometimes famous, sometimes unknown, who must be sought behind all public events. Now, today, supremacy is ensured by the possession of gold. It is the financial syndicates who hold at this moment the secret threads of European politics. A few years ago, there was thus founded in Europe a financial syndicate, today all-powerful, whose supreme aim is to monopolize all the markets of the world, and which in order to facilitate its activities has to acquire political influence. The Palpus-inspired articles in École de Paris reveal the role of the British Secret Service, which was exposed as being behind British Freemasonry to isolate and weaken Russia. In France, British agents concentrated on anti-Russian propaganda, while in Russia they used financial trickery to infiltrate all levels of society. Every effort was required to preserve the Russian emperor, so loyal and so generous, from the evils of the syndicate of financiers, which at present controls the destinies of Europe and the world.